Okay, so today we're going to talk about the close and breakout trade, the difference between the trend trade and the reversal trade. And to be quite simple, just to think in simple terms, one of them dumps for a pump and the other one pumps for a dump. So let's just say that this is our daily separator here, and this is our closing price. Actually, whoops, before I even draw that, let's go ahead and draw the pump day, closing breakout. They close above a previous day's range. Closing breakout signal. Here's our closing price. Now, there is some key details to understand in recognizing the difference between the trend trade and the reversal trade. Now, the reversal trade will, in most cases, break out, fail, and reverse. So where we're getting in and where we're focusing on getting in, obviously would be our levels. Make that a different color. Our levels. Get in. Get in. Depending on what session you're trading.
Hmm.
But the closing breakout reversal trade, the majority of the time, if not every time, will pump first. Throughout the majority of the day, they will be pumping. And we
During
will look
Asian and
for
London.
correct, correct. And then we will look for our lower lows on the inside, which is the recipe for the pump and dump. Lower lows on the inside. Now, I love the closing breakout reversal trade for this reason. I actually explained this in my most recent video. A lot of these actually close, or the best ones, if we're at the highest close of the week or month, can close as a first red day. So that's two birds in one stone. We're
Hmm.
trading the reversal trade, and then the next day we're trading the first red day follow through. So you
Correct.
get two trades in one, two birds in one stone.
That's exactly
Now,
why I timed these two systems because of that factor that I can probably get two trades a week out of it. Correct.
correct, correct. Two really good trades.
Correct.
Now, the trend trade will dump first and then start pumping. And we're doing the same thing here. We're just looking to get in from our levels. If it's a successful breakout that goes on a range expansion, you can still get in here. It's not as late as what traders may think. Because if you look at gold, every time they broke the previous day's high after that closing breakout, they're gone. They don't come
Mm.
back. So you're not necessarily late, but we also can draw our breakout level across, which you need to do this every time. Every time they close in breakout, this is a rule, draw the breakout level across because that could be our reference point for the pullback continuation, or they could be breaking down below this, retesting it for the reversal. This is very important because if they break down and retest that breakout level, who's trapped?
Yeah, you guys are
Longs.
both. Yeah, the longs buyers.
N-
Yeah.
Now, if we're breaking out, pulling back above the closing price, who's trapped? Shorts.
Shorts. Yeah.
So I love the closing breakout signal, closing breakout trades because this is it. It's either dumping down for a pump or it's pumping up for the dump. Now let's go to a few examples here. gold, which this was our Friday. We get our higher highs. We get our higher high.
And you
And
always work off
they,
the 15-minute, or do you also work down to the 5 minute, or your structure's always 15 minute?
the structure is always 15 minute. Now, if I'm getting in, it's 5 minute and below. But I'm only on those time frames when I'm at a
Yep.
level.
Hmm.
Now, I don't necessarily care about getting in down here. What's consistent is taking the trade from these levels. So higher high
Yes.
equals dump and pump, and they dump it down just like our diagram. You see how they're dumping it down first.
Mhm.
They're not pumping it, they're dumping it down first for our pump and dump, excuse me, dump and pump template. They gave us a higher high on the inside here, which is the recipe for the dump
Um, and
and pump. Higher highs on the inside. Pretty simple. Now, if we go to our next example here, huge difference. Huge difference. Look at the closing price on this one compared to this
hmm
one. The closing price is up top,
hmm
and they're not necessarily dumping it down. They're pumping it up. Lower lows on the inside,
hmm
pumping it up, breakout, pull back, reverse.
hmm
A huge difference. They trigger breakouts. And notice how if you were a breakout trader, you were trapped the entire day. Like quite literally, you were trapped the entire day. They
Yeah,
did
I remember
not.
taking this actually. When was this? This was last month?
This was in July
Oh yeah.
23rd.
I think I remember taking this one and I took it on the breakout at 8:30. Yeah, you see that breakout of the structure on the
Mm-hmm.
15-minute candle? It's
Mm-hmm.
just above the red line. I remember taking the trade there. Um, and then yeah, I remember making a tiny bit. I think a 2 hour off this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So and I remember doing exactly this then. But my because my entry can't. My problem is I can't be awake past nine. Sorry, past 10 a.m. It's midnight for me, and I'm nearly already sleepy. So I tend to look out for the gap time trades, and if I see a structure break on a gap time, I know the trade is going in that direction. If that makes, or that in my assessment I've made is that that's where the direction is. If that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Correct.
So like where the breaking structure happened just after the gap time is where I got in.
Okay, nice. This one took some time for them to actually break down. Uh, which is why this rule that I'm about to explain is important. We now, if you're gonna go short, you need a lower low first. And if you're unsure, wait for the new one.
Hmm.
And then they pump it up for the crash. They trigger breakouts. Where are their stops? The other side. Breakout, fail, and reverse. Let's go to our another example. Euro dollar. And this is a 1 hour chart. We don't necessarily have to zoom in because any time frame you should be able to recognize this. Now, traders will tell me, well, Snipe, aren't they dumping this down first? I thought this was a trend trade. Okay, we are pumping up on Tuesday, pumping up on Wednesday, and they break below the breakout level, giving us lower lows on the inside or what I like to say, lower lows on the back side,
Yeah, makes sense.
which is the recipe for the pump and dump. Now, I even mentioned this in my most recent vid. They close and breakout. They break down below the breakout level, retest the breakout level, crash. It's quite common. Whenever you get a breakout and they break back below the breakout level and they're retesting it now, who's trapped?
Bias. Bias.
Buyers. And all it takes for them is to do something like this to punish them, put them in serious pain, which is
Which they
exactly
did.
what happened. Correct. Highest close of the week equals sell high. Lowest close of the week equals buy low. So just they still have to set it up because even this was a closing breakout signal. And they give us higher highs on the inside, which is the recipe for the dump, dump, dump. The taking out the low of the day, dump, dump, dump. Pump setup on the back side of the dump. So step one, peak formation high. Step two, peak formation low. Step three, higher highs on the back side. Or step
Mm,
one, this is the most recent peak formation low. Step two, peak formation high. Step three, lower lows on the back side for the pump and dump. Now, I can't stress this enough. It doesn't matter what setup it is, what pattern, how many days, how many sessions. Everything is either a dump and a pump
yep.
or a pump and a dump. And they're all three steps. One, two, three. One, two, three. Now, this could be the first Green Day signal for the first Green Day trade. It could be the closing breakout for the closing breakout trade. There could be an inside day and they break down and collapse. It doesn't matter. Three
I hear
session
you.
setup, same thing. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I hear you. Right.
Okay, perfect. So let's go
I
to
was
our
just
next
sneezing.
example. Pound Aussie. We get our closing breakout signal, right? Closing breakout. And they give us a peak formation low, peak formation high, lower lows on the inside, pump, 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 crash, which also closes our first red day, like I mentioned. This is why I love the closing breakout so much because they can close as a first red day the next day. And then the following day, one second, let's just move forward one day. First red day close, and then the next day, crash.
Boom. Yeah. It's predict
We
like
seen that
it's like
coming.
yeah, it's like as though you've just predicted that. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Hmm. They give us lower lows, lower lows. That's the recipe for the pump, 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 crash. Now, this is our breakout level from that closing breakout. Guess who's trapped?
Bias. Yeah.
Everyone
Mm.
above that level is
And it's
trapped.
majority of all time frames too, because it would be is this the high of the month or at least the high of the week, the
Hmm.
dailies, the 4 hours, everyone would be buying it and they've just been screwed over.
Correct.
Yeah,
They
perfect.
also triggered the previous month's high as well. So we have monthly time frame traders
Monthly time
in,
frame buyers, yeah,
weekly
they've
time
fucked
frame
over.
traders in, daily time frame traders in,
Yeah,
hourly and 15-minute time frame traders in. Oh boy. This was a genocide. They did
Indeed.
not let anyone out. Let's go
Yeah.
to our next example. Because here's the trend trade, but I'm actually gonna mark this up as I would for the week. So I'm not gonna ignore Friday because Friday actually gave us lower lows
Yeah.
and they closed in breakout, which is a signal. Whoops, signal. Then they gave us higher highs the next day, which is also a closing breakout signal. Now remember, when they break a previous day's low or previous day's high, that is a lower low or a higher high, which is the recipe for the pump and dump or the dump and pump. Now, mind you, they gave us the lower low first, so I am looking for the pump and dump.
Yeah. On that
They
one, yeah.
correct. They pump, pump, pump. Traders will say once again, well, Snipe, aren't they dumping down first? Shouldn't I look for the continuation? No. We have our previous week high or low level here, which they retest. They break down. They're breaking down, breaking down. Mind you, we were looking for the pump and dump anyway. Here's step one, peak formation low. Step two, peak formation high. And on the back side of this pump, they broke down and gave us our short trade London session. But now we close and break out again. And I'm just following the rules here. Lower low equals pump and dump, but I'm not ignoring this because higher high equals dump and pump, which means they would have had to dump it down first, which is exactly what they did. They dump it down first.
Yeah.
And on Wednesday, they give us our reversal low of week, which you don't have to trade this. If traders are confused, just wait. Because if it closes as the first green day,
Yeah.
oh, it's game time.
This
It's
was my
game
best
time.
trade on this is my best trade this week on GU. I took the GU one from Wednesday. I held it on all the way through to Friday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, all of the I think all of the pound pairs, pound major and crosses,
Yeah.
had the same or similar dump and pump weekly template.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I got the trade in at the closing price level on the Wednesday
oh,
and
nice.
I dragged it all the way up to Fridays. Yeah, so I managed to get that was my 5 hour for the week.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and
Um,
on UJ on the Wednesday, I got the sell and I got 2 hour there and I closed out early. I could have held on for the rest of the week as well, but that was, I don't know, for me, that was my first trade, the UJ one,
mhm.
sort of the week. And I was like, I'm not going to lose the profit. Let me just take what I've got. So I just took my 2 hour on Wednesday, happy for the week. And then I saw this, and I'd also taken the GU trade on the Wednesday at the same time. I was like, let me try and hold this one because I moved it to break even and left it. So
Oh,
that was a
nice.
good week, a really good week. Yeah.
Quick question, the UJ trade, actually, I can actually go check that. Did they close and break out on Tuesday?
Yes, they did. And it was a sell.
Oh, nice. High of week. Very
Yep.
nice. Very, very nice. Lower lows the next day. Pump, pump, pump. Crash.
So you see where yeah, if you just literally point at where is it, 12 p.m. on that day on the Wednesday, roughly around on your 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I got that candle. It's the break of that 8 a.m. candle. 8 a.m. 8.
8 a.m. Whoops, 1 second. Mouse is tripping. Okay, this one. The break of
Yeah,
this
so
candle. Okay.
yeah, below that, so at sort of the close of that 9 a.m. I was in. Sorry, the close of the 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I was in at around 9. Yeah, there, bang. I was in there.
Nice. Collapse. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. Trap bulls. Um,
Yeah,
one thing that I've noticed that gives me confirmation of a reversal is not only will they engulf the highest bull candle, but you'll start seeing lower bull closes. This bull candle was lower than this one. These
Yes.
bull candles were lower than that one. Lower
Yep.
bull candles. They're going to collapse, which is exactly what happened. Very
Then I
nice
closed out
trade.
at the bottom of that because I chickened as it started going up, and I thought the retest was pretty heavy compared to GU. So that's why I closed out as well. I panicked a little bit, I'll be honest.
Well, that was a good panic because you want to get out as soon as they hit the stops. Low, that peak formation low was hit. And mind you, we didn't get lower lows yet until the next day. So now we can look to continue short. So that was a very nice close. Just journal that. That's what you want to do. And they also closed our first red day signal. They pumped
Hmm.
it up. We had non-farm payrolls this week, so we didn't actually get the trade Thursday, but we got the trade Friday right off of our weekly level. Close breakout signal, which also closed as a first red day the next day. Pound CAD closing breakout signal on Thursday. This is a scenario where they break out, pull back, and trend, but we already got our higher highs. We're on the backside. This is just one large one, two higher highs on the backside. Three, dump, coil, pump,
Yeah.
template. Here we go again. You know what's so funny? Because I can just tell that you're getting it. It's really simple. You just gotta wait.
I'm starting to. It's the patient side of waiting is what my problem was, is
Co-
still a little. I'm working on it hard.
Now, if you can give yourself 30 days, just
Hmm.
just try get a journal and give yourself 30 days. You'll be surprised of what's possible, and that will give you the confidence to stay patient.
Hmm.
Oh, if I can do this in 30 days with just these two setups, imagine what I can do in 90 days. And then once that
Hmm.
90 days is complete, okay, 180 days. And then once that 180 days is complete, okay, 365 days. So give yourself goals.
Hmm.
That's how you can give yourself the motivation to stay disciplined, stay patient. We need
Yeah, no,
goals.
I agree. Do you mind me asking one question on UJ, for example? If you don't mind going back on UJ,
Hmm.
because I did take this trade, and I closed it break even on the Thursday. You see where that 1 hour pin hammer going up at around 8 o'clock, I think it was. That
Yeah,
one,
eight
yeah.
o'clock. Correct.
Yeah. Now it sort of swept out, you could call it however you want to call it, swept out liquidity or whatever at the bottom and then shot back up. I went short thinking it was going to go short being a red day, right? The first red
Hmm.
day signal. If
Hmm.
you go down to a lower time frame, let's say even 15 minutes to 5 minutes at 8 o'clock, you can see that huge pin. So you saw at 8 o'clock, 8 to
Hmm.
8:15, there was an engulfing uh bearish candle. Can you see that on Thursday?
8:15.
8 to
Yeah.
8:15. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry. 7:45 to 8. Apologies.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So that's 7:45 to 8 a.m. candle, a big bearish one after that. I thought it was going down because of the sort of triple. You could see the high broken, then it didn't break the high, and then it was going further low. There's no higher high. So I thought it was going down, and I did take that trade. Obviously, that huge wick that went down, it hit the opening price level and then it wicked back up. Now, did I do what? Why would? Because I thought it was the first red day. Did I do anything wrong, or am I? Because it's lifetime pricing, and that's what I'm assuming I'm seeing.
Okay. Now this is something that I used to struggle with, and this takes experience. So just losing in these scenarios a few times and journaling it. So what ends up happening and what happened here is one, this is a non-farm payrolls week.
Hmm.
Two, now I'm gonna show you a three-session setup that was actually successful. And then I'm gonna go back and show you this. So just one second. Uh, let's go to, I'm gonna have to really dig deep in my mind. When is the last time I seen the first red day? Let me just go to gold. It's one of the most, well, it's actually one of the main pairs that I trade. One second.
I tend to trade currencies
Goals.
because of timing. They seem to collapse in between that gap time and just in the first hour of US. With gold, I have to wait a little bit longer, and sometimes I'm half asleep.
Yeah, gold, it goes. So the currencies typically can move earlier. Sometimes they move on time. But what we have here is we have our closing breakout signal,
Hmm.
our first red day signal,
Hmm.
and then we get our lower lows. Okay. So the three session setup on the day, what we need is the highest bull candle to be engulfed, which they did that. And we need some sort of indication that they're stop hunting into that peak formation or high bull. I'm just going to say peak formation. They break down, they pull back to the new high bull or the new peak formation, and they collapse. Now, this isn't the best example to compare, but if I go back to UJ, yes, we get our lower lows. Yes, we're pumping this up, but we had news, right? So 8:30
Hmm.
major red news. They didn't necessarily engulf or put in a peak formation for the US session. They put in a peak formation low, which with experience, you'll start to recognize this. Who's trapped? Breakout traders. Or for this day, breakout traders and anyone below the
Sellers.
closing price. They retest the closing price and continue long. Now, as the market is continuing to play out, because once 9:30 opens, they fail to go lower. That's a dead giveaway that they're not gonna go any lower. 9:30 can lock in the higher low. 9:30 fails to go lower. Third hour, they continue to go higher. Now, we're still looking for the pump and dump, but just take in consideration that this was a non-farm payrolls week. And if they were going to give a parabolic trade, they were going to set it up for non-farm payrolls, which that is exactly what they ended up doing.
Mm.
So we didn't necessarily get our peak formation retest. It didn't happen. So I'm going to give you a, let's go. Well, this is UJ. Let me just go back. What you would have wanted to see is something like this. Peak formation low, peak formation high in London, which they exceeded and go higher, higher, engulf and retest. Peak
Yeah.
formation
Okay.
high and retest, which this is completely different from what they did on that Thursday. So we were actually live on Thursday. And I was actually looking for the short, but they just never gave it to us. I told the live chat, I was like, I'm waiting for that high bull to get engulfed, and they just never did it. And then I
You
was like,
talk about
okay,
gold, right? Or New J?
UJ, UJ,
Oh,
yeah.
right. Okay.
and they stayed above the closing price. And I was like, I'm just gonna let this run, guys, and we'll see what they do tomorrow. And the next day,
Yeah.
they did exactly as expected. They gave us the trade the next day, but I will also say this. Thursday was the first day of shorts being triggered. They need to pump it up first. We need our step one, which we get that. We get our step two way later, way later. And now we're breaking down
Mm.
on the back side for our pump and dump, which it took an extra day, but we don't get the one, two, three on the day. Yes, this is a lower low on the inside, but they still had to pump it up first for the dump. So just comparing the two, even just comparing here, we get our peak formation low, peak formation high, step one, step two, lower lows on the back side. They did not do that, or they stay the price action typically, or the majority of the price action stayed on the front side. It's a huge difference here between the two. So if you were looking to go
Yeah,
short,
and I think I didn't wait. I didn't wait for the, well, I got excited because of that engulfing, and I think I had to wait for that structure to be broken and candle close. I didn't wait
hmm
for the candle close. I just took that week, hoping it would just fly down, which it didn't.
hmm which is fine. I was making mistakes like that at first, but now just be worrisome and be aware that the first red day is a signal, and it's also not only the bias for the next day, but the next few days, or the whole week, potentially the whole month, depending on where that first red day is located.
Yeah,
So,
because the next day could be also an inside day, right? On the
correct,
Friday, and then you're waiting
correct,
for that dump to happen the day after. Yeah.
correct. I'll actually show you an example of that. Let's
Yeah, I
not
actually
just
look up for those. I actually look up for the inside days, and I don't trade the inside. I just wait for the next.
here's I can actually pull that up. I just seen that not too long ago. What is this? I don't even know what that is. But GU, let me see. Did I skip it?
No, you're right. Wednesday.
Uh,
It was
well,
Wednesday. Yeah.
there was the first red day because I was marking up a bunch of charts. We had a first red day, and then we had the inside day, which
Yeah.
this is technically one of them, but this isn't the one that I was referring to. First red day close, inside day crash.
Yep. There was one this week. You're right. I did see it myself, and I think, yeah, 100%.
But yeah, pretty much. I wanted to find that example, but I guess I mean it is in my playbook. I can send it to you.
No,
I
that's all good,
just
man. I know
wish that
exactly what you're talking about.
right.
And I think the game changer
Oh,
is,
here it is right
believe
here.
it
Whoops.
or
My bad. Found it. First red day, which is also the closing breakout.
yep,
Yeah, I wanted to find that. Found them. First red day, closing breakout, lower lows, which is the recipe for the pump and dump.
up.
Mind you, I'm annotating all of this beforehand. Inside day, the next day, inside day signal, and then they don't start breaking down until later next week.
Mm-hmm.
They give our lower low on Tuesday, which is the recipe for the pump, 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 dump.
And yeah,
So easy peasy.
No, it does always sound easy when you're looking at it, but when you're in lifetime, no, I've been improving lifetime as well. I'm trying my best.
You're doing your best. So continue to do your best. Because that's all we can do. 1% batteries day. That's it. That's all we
Yeah,
can do.
no, I hear you loud and clear, man. And I've just got to focus on not being greedy, not being too impatient. If I recognize something, do it. If I don't recognize it, don't do it.
Correct.
And the game changer is the lower lows and the higher highs, and actually knowing what they are, because that was my struggle. Is okay, I know what a higher high is, but high low, but do you actually know where it is according to your 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart?
Correct.
Um, and that's where I was making mistakes because I didn't know what they were before I'm taking the trade. So now I've improved on that. And now I know what my higher highs should be and what my lower lows should look like. I
Hmm.
didn't know that before.
Correct. So now that you know, follow the rules and act as if you are a automated trade system. You put the rules in place, the automated trade system is not going to tweak the rules to catch a move. It's just going to follow the rules and hunt
Yeah.
for the trade setups.